Hello guys, this is Godspeed here. I'm here to present you my build for Ranger, to play World vs World, zerg busting, following a commander, and World vs World overall. I came up with it when I used to play Ranger on Redguard, and it's designed to follow a commander, going through the melee pushes with him, but also being able to stay on the backline when the front line is taking too much hit. It's designed to be very offensive and being able to tank through most of the damage it's being thrown at the melee line and sticking with the back. It's built around greatsword and longbow because they are the two weapons that suit more the playstyle of the zerg busting guilds. Your main focus is applying pressure to from ranged with longbow barrage, also sticking people into his plates. So I'm going to talk about gear, traits, weapon skills, utilities, and I'll close it with pets. In the end I'll show you just a little bit of footage. I got it from the last raid I did with the Ranger on second law, so I can show you and go over the principles of how I played the Ranger. So first of all, going into gear. As you can see, and as you said, going in a zerg busting guild you need to be very tanky. And Rangers, since Ranger is naturally gimped because of the stats are how can I say, a bit distributed between yourself and the pet. You will be gimped from the start, so you really have to go overboard with the tankiness on Ranger. So for armor you go full soldiers with Runes of the Dalyak. Runes of the Dalyak because it gives even more toughness and vitality, and because it gives a little bit of regeneration. I'll go over this a bit when I'll talk about utilities. As for trinkets and accessories, you should personalize what you think it's best for yourself. I always aim, when I make a build for my any class, I always aim for having around 3k armor. Now it's a bit bigger because of the Signet of Stone. Over 3k attack, and then critical chance and critical damage varies on group composition. If you're over a certain number, or you're thinking you're very safe going more offensive stat gear, and then you can change it, and if you feel like it, and you should go for it. Meaning, this is the basic of a nice tanky build. If you feel safe playing more aggressive, then go for it, because you will be more useful to the guild, to your group, if you can output more damage. So seeing the stats, this is a good one, a good stat combination. If you want, you can change it, of course. On weapons, I go soldiers on my greatsword, because I usually use it when you push through chokes or when you engage with the melee, so you need that extra tankiness. The superior sigil of stamina, it will allow you to roll twice each time or 2 dodges each time you kill a foe. This is very useful, because the dodge is 100% damage denial, so the more dodges you have available, the more you will survive. Alongside with the traits we'll show you, you will have a lot of protection both from this. Lastly, the longbow, because when you use longbow you're mostly on the backline, you won't be taking so much pressure, so you can go more offensive stats with it. I could manage to use Zerker stats on the longbow along with the superior sigil of fire. This is a very good combo to keep ranged pressure on the enemy. So moving on to traits, I use 30, 20, 20, 13 marksmanship, because this build is built around the signets, so you need 13 in marksmanship to share the signets with the pet. Also using signet masteries for 20% faster discharge, which is good, since we use at least GW2. The other one I take is piercing arrows because the damage output is quite bigger and you can also do more. On skirmishing I take primal reflexes, which this means is that you gain vigor almost 5 seconds out of almost every 15 seconds, which is very good since you can dodge more and avoid more damage. Also short bow and long bow skill recharge, which overall increases the DPS you are able to output. On Wilderness survival, Wilderness knowledge for survival skills to recharge faster, and martial mastery, so the greatsword skills recharge 20% faster. Moving on to weapon skills, as I said, using longbow greatsword. This is a combo that adapts more to the playstyle of a zerg busting guild. It has the dodge on the third attack, which is very nice. 1 second invasion is very nice. Also the maul is a great burst skill, it can crit really high. The swoop is very good. When I make builds for World vs World, I always try to get a movement skill there, or if you don't have a leap blink or something like that, because it really helps or gets you out of sticky situations or helps you initiate faster. Counterattack is real nice. What this does, it gives you 3 seconds of blocking to all AoEs. If you are not attacked by a melee enemy, you will be able to block through 3 seconds, which sometimes can mean your life. Blocking arrow card damage, AoE damage, it's very helpful and has saved my life a lot of times. Hit bash is very situational. Moving on to longbow. Longbow has a more or less okay auto attack. You almost shouldn't have time to auto attack that much, because your main source of damage in World vs World is the Barrage. It is one of the most, has a lot of damage potential, and it is a very concentrated fire, so you can deal a lot of damage in a specific area. Rapid fire is your second way of deal direct damage. As we traded piercing arrows, it will go through more targets than the initial one, so you will be able to deal more damage from that. Hunter's Shot, this has been changed recently. This now gives you stealth, so if you can play with it around. You can sometimes when you get focused, just shoot this and try to lose the target that is focusing you. As a ranger, you will be very focused on the World vs World after you have point blank shots. So what it is a knockback. So you can knock back a line of foes right in front of you. You can do some nice funny things with it. After we have Healing Spring. It is very powerful, and on the raid overall it's a must. Currently, what I say, the most powerful water field in the game, since it lasts, as of now, it lasts 15 seconds and has a cooldown of 30. So it is very good for offensive or defensive water fields. When I say defensive, is when your group pulls out to regenerate, you drop this on your leader, and everyone that can use a blast finisher will heal up everyone around him. So since this is very long, you can use it for a lot of blasts. It doesn't have a limit on the blast you can combo in, so it's the best water field right now. Next on is the Signet of the Wild. As I said in my builds, I love to have a leap, in this case the sword. I also like to have self-stability, and this is where Signet of the Wild is good. It has a very nice regeneration, and since you have your self-healing is not that powerful for yourself, you need to compensate it with the Signet of the Wild and the Doliac runes, the 6th regeneration. So this also helps to compensate your lack of survivability, or since your heal is, since it is an AoE heal, it cannot be that powerful for yourself, so you need to compensate with Signet of the Wild and Doliac runes. Next one is Muddy Terrain. Muddy Terrain is the thing you should be most concentrated on using, because what this does, this completely immobilizes foes that are in that area, and so your group can reach those guys, and since they are immobilized or crippled, it will be easier to kill them or DPS them down. So this is the thing you should be most concentrating on using at the right times. Since you traded for survival skills to recharge 90% faster, it will be available more often. Next on is the Signet of Stone. It's passively increase your toughness for your pet, and the most important thing is when you activate it, you take no damage for 6 seconds, which is very important. Ranger is one of the squishiest class, as I would say, and it's inevitable that your guild will have to push through a choke or a kill zone. So if you feel like you will take a lot of damage, just use it. I also recommend you to use it preventively, so when you feel like you'll take a lot of damage, use it, because if you take a lot of damage and you just take it in the last 1k HP of your health, well, you don't use it to its full potential. So be aware of it, and it saved my life countless times, really countless times. Last is the the evil of all warbunnies. Everyone in any raid will hate Entangle. It's I think it's the biggest cause of death in organized raiding. It is the most annoying immobilize or condition appliance in the game. It's 5 targets and reapplies it every second, and the immobilize lasts more than 1 second, so it's very good. To use it, I advise you to don't open with it. I mean, don't use it right as you engage, because one, it can be burst down with damage, so you need to time it right. So people that are moving away from you or trying to get away from you, it's usually the best time to use it, so they get caught and your group can DPS them down. Since it's a survival skill, it also reduces the cooldown. Lastly, the pets. One of the reasons that made me drop a ranger, the pet AI is very bad in this game. Raiding overall, you can almost neglect the pet. It's more of a burden than a friend, a companion. It will die very fast. Whatever pet you use, it will die very fast. The moment he stops, he will die because of the AoE. The moment you send him to use the activation skill, he will probably die. But if you try and you can use it on engagements most often, I suggest use of Wolf because of the AoE fear, which is very nice, and the Krypton Dracon for the AoE Immobilize. This is my recommendation. Now I'm going to show you a bit of the way I play the Ranger, and I'll be commentating over it. I open with a longbow barrage on the front line of the enemy, then I swap to greatsword, do a swoop to the front line and drop a muddy terrain on it, quickly do a few auto attacks, a maul and a mini for the big numbers. Here you could also use the pet activation skill, but as you see he's almost dead. And with disengage I drop a water field for the cleansing and a bit of healing. We fully disengage from the front of the tower because they'll probably all come out. Now they're pushing out, we will try to engage again. They killed one of our guys, I dropped another barrage. After that rapid fire and finishing up trying to drop a muddy terrain near them. After using the muddy terrain we disengage because we see a way melee train pushing into us, dropping the water field. I feel like I'll take a lot of damage using Signet of Stone, trying to catch off their backline with the swoop. We disengage again, quick regroup the supply camp, water fields blast, using rapid fire on some low targets, barrage into the melee front line, trying to drop my muddy terrain. My leader keeps disengaging, I swap to greatsword. As there's a lot of ground targets, I use the counter attack. When it is over, I try using attacks to evade. I do a swoop to their regroup, drop an offensive water field, a few blasts going on, I get stunned. I don't feel like there's that much CC going on, that's why I not use the Signet of the Wild. Using the counter attack again to deny some damage. Muddy terrain into the barrage. Targets a down player, trying to DPS him down. We do a quick regroup and try to counter wave flank. We push the side and I think we get a few down. With sword I do a few auto attacks. I'm all for the big numbers on the down. We disengage a bit to the supply camp, trying to get our cooldowns up. I drop a muddy terrain, swap back to longbow, a barrage on the down, trying to keep the range pressure on. I use a rapid fire on a few guys. Our leader is pushing deep. I try to follow him, waiting for my great sword. There it is, swapping to great sword. I follow the leader around, dropping water field on a quick regroup, but Wei is pushing deep. We get caught in a lot of CCs and our melee goes down, and the rest of the zone just swarms us. And we got our ass kicked, but it was a nice fight. So I tried to show you how I use my build in World vs World, following a commander, pushing in with the great sword, and after the group swapping back to longbow, use the powerful barrage, use also the immobilizes we have with muddy terrain and entangle at the right times. It will help a lot with the overall DPS, and also the very powerful water field we have. That's where the ranger shines. If you have any question or any doubt, if you want to discuss the build in itself, please comment. If you like the build and if you tried and you enjoy it, please subscribe. I hope you enjoy this and see you around.